streaming live across the country, tackling the topics everyone is talking about online. Share, engage, and interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Good morning and welcome to Newsfeed Now on this wonderful Wednesday. I'm Hillary Hutt. We're going to be talking about all the top trending stories today, including the latest on the House impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump and a man searching for a kidney donor as his daughter battles cancer. And what about an Ohio State fan that postpones her brain surgery to watch the big game? And this one I really like. A century-old beer cave uncovered. We have so much planned for you today. But of course, we got to start on Capitol Hill with what's happening regarding our president. This morning, we're following the Democrats' push to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time. In about an hour, the House is expected to debate those articles of impeachment. They passed a resolution late last night pressing Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment, but he says he's not doing it. Here's Washington correspondent Alexandra Lamont.
Even before the U.S. House voted on a resolution calling on Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove President Trump from office, Pence dismissed the idea in a letter to Speaker Pelosi, saying he does not believe that is in the best interest of the nation or consistent with our Constitution. Now, Democratic lawmakers say they'll move forward with an impeachment vote against President Trump, whom they charge with committing high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the government of the United States.
Chanting "Stop the Steal" and "Hang Mike Pence," they threaten the lives and safety of the three individuals in the line of succession to the President of the United States.
At least 5 Republican House members say they will join Democrats in voting to impeach President Trump. In a statement, the third highest ranking Republican in the House, Liz Cheney, said the President of the United States summoned this mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack. Cheney also said there has never been a greater betrayal by a President of the United States. Meanwhile, President Trump denies any responsibility and defends his remarks, which included unproven claims that the election was stolen, and then instructed his supporters to march on the Capitol.
People thought that what I said was totally appropriate.
Well, more social media fallout following the violence that happened in Washington, D.C. YouTube is now the latest social media company to take action against President Trump. Here's what we know. His account has been suspended from uploading new videos until at least after the inauguration. Comments will be disabled indefinitely, and new content that was recently posted was deleted from that account. YouTube cited policy violations and concerns about potential violence. And meanwhile, Facebook, no plans to remove its ban on President Trump's account. It's also removing any content, including the phrase "Stop the Steal." We've been hearing a lot about that. Facebook says the president fueled his supporters with lies about the election results and encouraged violence. The company says this will prevent him from spreading misinformation. Here's the thing. Trump still has the option to submit a complaint through Facebook's oversight board. We're not sure if he's going to do that or not, but that's his only way to regain access to his account if they allow it. And looking ahead to the inauguration of President-elect, we're talking about security, increased security plans here. We've been hearing about it. I want you to take a look at what they're going to be doing. There's going to be signs telling people the area around the Capitol complex is closed to the public. You're going to see large metal gates also surrounding the entire complex. We're told that's a protective barrier for the public. You see them right there, security personnel also having meetings going over procedures. And we were also told yesterday from our D.C. correspondent, only about 3,000 people will be allowed to attend. And in the South, an East Alabama man who investigators say violated his bond by traveling to Washington, D.C. to participate in those violent riots at our U.S. Capitol is now in federal custody. Elizabeth White has more details on that investigation.
This is exclusive video of 23-year-old William Watson being taken into federal custody in Auburn, Alabama. Watson is believed to be the bearded man in the tan sweatshirt in an image released by the Metropolitan Police Department. Watson is one of many rioters wanted by U.S. Secret Service and FBI as they continue investigating a mob of President Donald Trump supporters who stormed the Capitol as lawmakers worked to certify the election. 5 people were killed killed, including a Capitol Police officer. Watson was taken into custody without incident around 1:45 Monday afternoon at a home along Samantha Court. This after his $103,000 bond was revoked on prior drug charges filed in July by Auburn police. Prosecutors say Watson was not allowed to depart the state of Alabama without leave of the court, violating his bond. In the motion to revoke, the district attorney stated Watson was captured on video at the riot, dressed in a yellow sweatshirt, standing next to a man with a horned hat. News 3 is awaiting more information from federal authorities as to what charges Watson may face.
Let's stick in the South. This is a weird one. A house in the center of a high-profile murder case is now up for sale, and there's no hiding what actually happened in that house. Chris Haynes lets us know about what he found out about the new home buyers.
People were lined up to look at this house on Northwinds Drive here in West St. Louis County. It just went on the market this weekend for $359,900. It's already under contract. November 2019, only Fox 2 captured Bo Rothwell's arrest at his home. St. Louis County Police walked him out. He was then charged in the murder of his pregnant wife, Jennifer Rothwell. Just 14 months after police found enough DNA evidence in the home to charge him, the Rothwell house hit the market. It immediately showed thousands of views on Zillow. The 3,500 square foot home even includes pictures of the basement, where police found DNA evidence according to court records. The listing agent tells Fox 2 the home is already under contract. The seller's disclosure says there was a death in the home, despite the fact Missouri law does not require telling buyers. It is Missouri law to answer if a home was used as a meth lab, but not if there was a murder. Listing agent Kim Anderson with Berkshire Hathaway said it's still important to tell people the truth. In her case, she told me everyone who contacted her about the Rothwell home said they already knew from Google.
I'm shocked so quickly because we've had the house behind me is for sale too, and it's been on the market for a while. But the houses do go real quickly in this neighborhood.
Most neighbors I talked to tonight didn't know the house had been listed for sale, let alone under contract. I talked to several real estate agents, all of who agreed, even though it's not Missouri law that you have to disclose a murder in a house, they said you have to do it because neighbors are going to tell the prospective buyers, and that's going to jeopardize the closing and any future trust. Murder suspect Bo Rothwell, he's got a hearing next Friday when we could see a development in his case. For the
Moving to the state of North Carolina, a father is searching for a kidney donor while his 2-year-old daughter battles brain cancer. Chad Tucker has more on this family's health battles. Take a listen.
Charlie Gilmer, a husband and father of 3, is on the hunt for time.
I really got a lot to live for, and I'm trying to be here as long as I can for my family.
A birth defect has given the 49-year-old a life of health challenges.
So the birth defect, my kidneys did not grow with my body. So when after high school, I kind of grew out of my kidneys and they began to fail.
His late mother gave him a kidney back in 1991. Medicine that followed stole his hearing in a week. That was 30 years ago. Most donated kidneys only last 10 to 15 years, and now he's looking for a new one.
I want to be here for him as long as I can.
Especially for his 10-year-old son Jackson and adopted siblings Jamison 3 and Henley 2. Henley has taught Gilmer a lot about living since being diagnosed last March with a brain tumor.
She is a fighter. She has gone through more than I can get through in a lifetime, I think. Her chemo and her pain, it's a lot to watch.
Her treatments just ended a few months ago, and a clean first scan is promising, but more are needed. Her strength is what keeps Gilmer going through dialysis treatments and waiting.
I don't think things worked out this way as good as it has if she didn't come to us.
He was placed on the transplant list last year through Wake Forest Baptist. His health insurance will cover the transplant, including all of the donor's costs. But right now, it's just finding someone compatible.
Even if you're not compatible, that there is a swap program. Mm-hmm. You can donate to someone that really needs a kidney, and what Baptist Hospital will do is they'll find me a kidney. So instead of just one person getting a kidney, 2 people will get to give to life.
His direct siblings aren't a match, but his faith and family
We're really strong together.
are what's keeping him going while he waits.
Emotional story there. We want to bring in Chad Tucker, who's joining us from High Point, North Carolina. Chad, I don't know how you didn't shed a tear, because that is an emotional roller coaster for that family. What was it like sitting down, not only hearing his story, but also his daughter Henley's story as well?
Yeah, it really did pull at your heart to know all that he has been through, all that he is continuing to go through. He goes through to dialysis 3 times a week just to keep himself alive. And on top of that, dealing with the treatments of his daughter who has a brain tumor, it's your heart really hurt for the family and everything they were doing and going through. And on top of it all, he's needing this kidney, and his whole goal for wanting the kidney is to be there for his family, to be there for his children as they grow older. And interesting in this too is they are foster parents, and so they were fostering these siblings, and then up till early last year they adopted them, and then right after they adopted them, the daughter was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And so that, on top of everything else, then this fall his kidney finally started to give up after he's had it for about 30 years, which is about 20 years longer than normal for a donated kidney. It's just fascinating to see the strength of this family and how they keep pushing forward. And he believes he'll get that kidney. He's on several programs through Wake Forest Baptist Medical in Winston-Salem, including a donor sharing program. So if someone wants to donate a kidney to him, but you're not a match, they will go ahead and take that donated kidney, and then the hospital will search out throughout the country to find a match and do a swap. It's called a swap program. So 2 people end up being blessed by 1 donation in that sense.
Yeah, and you can just tell that, they have a huge heart, not only for adopting, but also he said in there, he's like, if you just sign up for this, you could be saving someone else's life, not just mine. He's just putting other people before himself as well, which is pretty amazing to hear.
Absolutely. That seems to be his heart there.
Thanks so much. Chad Tucker out of North Carolina for us. We really hope that family can find the kidney that they so need. And now to the Midwest, where an Ohio native and huge Buckeye fan is looking for some help from Buckeye Nation. And Buckeye Nation is a strong one. Connie Cox is such a big fan that, get this, she rescheduled a surgery so she could watch the Sugar Bowl. Cox is a lifetime OSU fan and was born and raised in Central Ohio. Now she lives in my home state, the Sunshine State of Florida. But she'll tell anyone she's here to spread that Buckeye cheer wherever she is. Cox also loves helping others. Get this, in 2016, she started going on mission trips to a village in Kenya. Her goal is to eventually have a much needed medical clinic built in the village she's helped. But due to COVID-19, she couldn't go last year. And the day after Christmas, she was diagnosed with glioblastoma, a form of brain cancer.
The diagnosis is a tough one. And it's been hard on my family, but I had to tell them, you guys need to get a little tougher here, because I need you guys to be strong, because I'm not done yet. And they know me.
Woman there, since she's had her surgery, she's now asking for OSU to win the national championship and other fans to help make the clinic in Kenya a reality. What a selfless woman. Cox's story has garnered the attention from both OSU president Dr. Christina Johnson, who actually tweeted about her, and former OSU quarterback Cardell Jones, who called her. Now we want to bring in Christine Varnacki, who joins us from Columbus, Ohio. And I'm sure since this story went out, more and more people are reaching out to her.
Absolutely, Hillary. Yeah, we didn't win the national championship, unfortunately, but the fundraising has been pouring in for Connie's effort. Of course, like you said, Buckeye Nation is such a strong one, so hopefully we can make her dreams come true, as a community here in Central Ohio and throughout the world, of course.
And as you guys have been following this, do you know how much money has been raised so far for her efforts in Kenya?
We're not exactly sure yet. So she's not doing it through a crowdfunding site. She's got her own website up that we have linked on our website, and I'm sure you guys will have it up there as well. So it doesn't say a total quite yet, but we will be reaching back out to her to see how much money she has raised so far since we've done this story.
Perfect. So if you guys want to go donate, what a great effort she has. And of course, we're thinking about her during this difficult time. Thanks so much, Christine, out of Columbus, Ohio. And now let's talk about St. Louis. What goes better with football than what about a little bit of beer? One St. Louis neighborhood found a hidden gem in their backyard, or you could say under it. Bridget Mahone visited the English Cave community where drillers have really hit the hidden jackpot. Take a look.
We lowered a LiDAR laser unit down there to map out the cave, and here's the approximate route of the cave. It's like 30 feet wide with a ceiling from 7 to 15 feet tall.
A cave once lost, now found.
We were all out here in the alley jumping around like crazy, you know.
Digging and finding the cave last May on Provencher in the Benton Park neighborhood. Bill Krantz paving the way, working on the project since 1998. As for the cave, dating back to the early 1800s.
Started out as for storing ale.
No surprise knowing the neighborhood's deep history with beer.
This was really the brewing kind of epicenter of the city of St. Louis because of all the caves underneath us. So it really gives us an opportunity to kind of reconnect with that past.
The cave also once home to a mushroom farm, wine grotto, and a community gathering spot.
On Sundays in the 1850s and so, there used to be like thousands of people that would come here.
Now the cave only accessible by camera from 2 holes, but the land above it is still in use, preserved by Mary and Amy's, who helped create the community garden.
We wanted to preserve it in the community garden for the just in case developments happen, so that we could explore for the garden.
And others in the community have joined in along the way, like Chris Borders, who stumbled upon something right in his backyard.
I was coming home from work one day, you know, any other day, and pull down the alley, and there's a bunch of vans and all kinds of different stuff, a big, you know, drill, and they were drilling the hole, and they were sending LiDAR down. I didn't even know what LiDAR was at the time, and yeah, they were, you know, real welcoming, let me join.
And exploration will continue. They hope to eventually create more access points to this cave in the years ahead. Right now, the project is on hold, but they hope to have some exciting announcements this coming fall. Report.
Let's bring in Bridget from St. Louis, Missouri. And Bridget, what a place. I mean, one of the beer capitals of the United States to find what they call a beer cave.
Right, you know, everyone knows Anheuser-Busch here, and Anheuser-Busch actually started in the same time period around the 1850s, and that's when they suspect the beer cave was really in use, and Anheuser-Busch is just a few blocks down the road.
And like you said in your story, right now they are trying to preserve it with the garden on top because they don't want people coming in and messing it up. But do they have plans on maybe making an opening that's a little bit bigger than that skinny camera that goes down there?
Yeah, they of course do. They have had to put it on hold, of course, like many things this past year due to the pandemic, but they're hoping after this growing season, this spring to fall, that they have an announcement, and they hope to get some more funds. I know they have had a few grants, so eventually they hope to find the initial entrance. But a lot of people on the comments we have been seeing on our page is people say, you know, I hung out around that area as a child. Some of the houses in the neighborhood actually have access to the cave. I haven't confirmed that. No one has provided an exact address, but it's not suspected that those entrances are the actual main entrance.
So who knows? Someone could be down there cracking a cold one and may get caught on camera one day. Thanks so much, Bridget, out of St. Louis. Let us know when you get in that cave. We appreciate it. And before we go, let's take a look at a really interesting, and I think it's a little bit confusing story out of Japan. Listen to this. A lamb that looks like a cow is born at a sheep farm in northern Japan on the first day of the year of the ox. But it's a lamb. Look at it, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it until now. This baby animal looks like a calf because of its unique color pattern. I want this little baby. It's a lamb that was born on the new year at the sheep farm in northern Japan. The cow pattern is timely because 2021 is the year of the ox in the animal zodiac. Farmers said they've never seen such a clear black spot on a sheep before. The lamb will be displayed at the farm starting April 10th. They better hide it from me because I'll fly over there and take it and make it a pet of my own. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that cuteness, and I hope it makes your Wednesday wonderful because, boy, that was cute. You know, maybe Google it after this. Be sure to join us same place, same time tomorrow because tomorrow is Thursday and we're going to have another look at your top trending stories. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day and look up that lamb. How cute. Oh, yay. Bye.